Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Sentinel Toys Marvel Fighting Armor. Here we have the reissues of Deadpool and Wolverine. Big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for getting these out my way for me to review for you guys. They are both currently in stock right now. Deadpool is listed as the official reissue. Wolverine, for some odd reason, is showing as like the original listing. The reissue, quote unquote reissue, is still showing as a pre-order. However, this Wolverine right here is the one that is currently in stock right now. So links in the video description below if you're looking to pick up either of the Marvel Fighting Armor Deadpool or Wolverine. During the whole movie theatrical release of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, of course, it was announced that these two figures in particular would be getting reissued by Sentinel Toys, and they are here now, and I am very excited for you guys. Most recently, I did review the Sam Wilson Captain America Sentinel Fighting Armor figure, and you guys by now know that I absolutely love these things, so to get additional characters, I'm always very excited about that. In terms of X-Men related mutants, we've gotten Magneto and we've gotten Cyclops. I will bring those out so we can do some side-by-side comparisons later on in this video, but here we have Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm so excited. So looking at the box, it's kind of the typical thing. We get the zoomed in look at both of the figures. Each side you see like the figure kind of posed out and whatnot, and then on the back you can kind of see everything we've got going on with the figures, you know, them posed out with their accessories and things like that. So very exciting. The window box, as you can see, when it comes to Wolverine, we get another close-up look there, and you got the figure there looking really good. In terms of accessories, he got the interchangeable hands, and then of course he's got the claws there. Deadpool's got a little bit more going on with him. He's got some katanas, he's got some guns, so that is really cool there. So I'm excited for Deadpool, looking at the posed out image there. So there we go. So let's go ahead and open these up and let's take a look at Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh boy, here we go. We've got Deadpool and Wolverine out of the packages. Now, I have famously said, not famously obviously, but if you guys have followed the channel, if you guys watch these videos, watch my reviews, specifically of the Sentinel Fighting Armor figures, you will know that I absolutely love this Cyclops figure. I named him my top figure of 2024. I think Deadpool is better than Cyclops. It's crazy. I know. As much glaze as I gave this Cyclops figure, because I absolutely love it. I love the blue and yellow. I love the gold. It just pops on this figure. It just looks so damn good. Deadpool looks even better, and Deadpool gets a bunch of accessories too. Cyclops had a bunch. Cyclops came with, you know, some extra stuff and whatnot, and it's good. But Deadpool, something about this red and black just looks so good. And he's packed with a bunch of accessories. We get 4 shurikens. We get 2 pistols. We get 2 katanas. And he's got a bunch of extra hands. We got the typical fists. We've got the typical wide open hands. And then we've got trigger finger hands on Deadpool. This Deadpool is just so good. Wolverine is awesome. Love the blue and the yellow. Reminds me so much of Cyclops. Seeing these two together is just so cool. The only thing about Wolverine is that he does not come with a lot of accessories. That is also typical for this entire line. So I don't want to make it sound like just Wolverine just didn't get a lot of accessories. This line in particular, they do not come with a bunch of accessories. They each come with an extra set of hands, usually 2 to 3 pairs in total, and that essentially could be it. Each one does come with a flight stand, yes, but in terms of accessories, not all of them have a bunch of stuff to them. Like the Iron Mans don't really have a whole lot. Wolverine doesn't have a whole lot. He's got a pair of fists, he's got a pair of open hands, and then he's got the clawed hands, and that's it. What else could he have come with? I don't know. But maybe some slash effects or something. Sentinel has made some effect pieces, right? Magneto gets some power effects. Cyclops gets his optic blast. So there's some effect pieces that they make. That would have been cool for Wolverine. But he's also just a reissue. So it was, they could have done, I guess, a new release or something, that could have been an option. But this is just a reissue from an older figure back when I think accessories are even light. As the years went on and newer figures started to come out, I think that's when they started introducing more accessories and stuff to him. Like Sam Wilson, Captain America, right? He's got the Captain America shield, obviously. He's got the hands. He also comes with wings. He's got the Red Bird attachment. This is just the standard one that's already there, but he has the additional one. So the newer ones came with more accessories, kind of like Cyclops and whatnot too. Magneto, same thing. He's got the cape, he's got the energy effect pieces, he's got the hands and things like that. I don't know exactly when these two originally released to kind of give you guys like a time frame idea. All I know is that the reissues are here and you can get your hands on them because they're in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, so I'm very pleased to have them. We're going to do Wolverine first, get him out of the way because Deadpool is the clear highlight here, whereas not going to lie, I kind of thought I was going to lean towards Wolverine a little bit, but really it's Deadpool and he is just so awesome. So let's get in for a closer look at Wolverine. We'll get in for a closer look at Deadpool. We'll go over the articulation, which is going to be extremely similar to each other. And then we'll do the side-by-side comparison so you could see all of the X-Men characters together. There is one additional X-Men character, not even additional character, but an additional version. There is an X-Force Deadpool version that is exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store. That will be the last and final Sentinel fighting armor figure to add to my collection. I have War Machine and Black Panther that I have yet to review. I will be reviewing those soon. I have the Black and Gold Iron Man that I would like to get in a review at some point. I will likely double up that review along with the fighting armor Iron Spider that I've ordered from eBay. I was able to return my Mercari one. So there we go. So Marvel fighting armor, awesome stuff. Let's go ahead and zoom in on these two, starting with Wolverine. Okay, so starting with Wolverine, if you guys have seen any of my previous reviews on the Marvel Sentinel fighting armor figures, you will know that there are a lot of reuse here. They all essentially have the same base body. The difference with all the figures may be in like this hip piece where the belt kind of design could be a little bit different, and then the torso piece will have different pieces to kind of represent the character, obviously, because they can't all have the same pieces. Hands may be different, like case in point with Wolverine. He's got his claws here. But other than that, the figures are going to basically be the same. The concept, the idea behind these Marvel fighting armor figures is, what if Tony Stark had built a suit of armor for each of these different characters? So X-Men characters, Avengers characters, you know, they've got Thor, Loki, Magneto, Cyclops, Deadpool, Wolverine, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Iron Man, of course, Iron Spider, War Machine, Black Panther. You have all those different characters wearing these suits of armor. Now, do they need them? Like, Wolverine's already got his bones covered in adamantium. Did he need a metal suit? No. But it makes for a very toyetic figure. It's just very cool looking, right? So we get the tiger stripe version here. So nice yellows and blues to go along with it. There is some die-cast in there, like the belt, the hip piece here, for sure, die-cast. I think some of the arm pieces might be in some of the things in there. So there are some plastic, but there's some die-cast in there. But it just looks fantastic. So zooming in, looking at the cowl, you get that kind of Iron Man-esque type head along with the cowl. It's a little pointy on those spots, so be careful there. Nice bright black there. Nice blues and yellows kind of throughout. You kind of see some nice silver paint in some areas, as you could kind of see there. Just a really good like satin blue look, which is quite nice. It differs a little bit from Cyclops, where Cyclops was a little bit more metallic in the blue. As you can see, there's a little bit more shine coming off of Cyclops's. The shades of blue are not exactly the same. They are a little bit different, although in camera they look pretty darn similar. They are different in just kind of the finish is, again, a little bit more satin finish with Wolverine, where Cyclops is a little bit more metallic looking. But looking at Wolverine, we got the X logo there on his belt. Again, we've got the claws here. These are plastic, so I would say be very careful with these that you don't snap them off. So be very, very careful. There. These shoulder pads do move, and to be honest with you, they can kind of get in the way depending on what you're trying to do with the arm. You just kind of need to make sure to maneuver it in a way that that shoulder pad doesn't like fall off. It can come off very easily. You can just place it on. As you can see, you got those two little pegs in this round section there on the shoulder, the round section there on the back. You can get those. You can get this to kind of pop in there. and it rests in there like so, but they can come off very easily, so just a heads up on that. There is a peg hole on the back that is to use with the flight stand. Wolverine does have these opening flaps here in the back as kind of some thrusters type of deal, as you can see there. So that is Wolverine. So let's go ahead and get in for the closer look at Deadpool, because man, Deadpool is so awesome. Okay, here is Deadpool. Oh man, Deadpool looks so good. He's got this deep metallic red and this glossy black throughout, and it just looks so damn good together. A little bit of silver mixed in some areas of the legs, yes, but that red, that deep metallic red and that glossy black just looks so good together. I mean, just look at it. Look how nice that looks. So good. And it's awesome, some of these new things that this particular Deadpool figure has. So we got katana. So he's got the sheath in the back there. Let's go ahead and pull that out. These are made of plastic. I would have preferred, maybe they could have done die-cast, although, you know, a die-cast sword, it'd basically be an actual, like, mini sword. Some nice silver paints on there. Otherwise, majority of it is just all black. It's got some curve to it. So we got those katanas there, but he's got that sheath in the back. As you could see there, it just kind of goes in there, and you could just port those swords on in the back. One of the couple of the new things that gets incorporated with Deadpool is he's got guns and he's got those shurikens. So he's got 4 of these shurikens, and they're kind of pokey. They're just black in color, and as you can see there, we get 4 of these ones. They're all the same. In his hip piece, again, this is like the die-cast piece, but in his hip piece where you see the belt, you got the Deadpool logo. You got this peg on the side, and that's to hold the shuriken. So when the shurikens aren't on there, it looks a bit weird, not gonna lie. But when you put them on there and it fills up the space, then it doesn't look so bad, as you can see there on that side. Now, the other tricky thing to this is the shurikens. He's got the trigger finger hands, and that's basically going to be like the grip hands for these shurikens. So you're going to have to kind of work it in a little bit there. And then Deadpool also has the katana holding hands, as you could see here. So you would just have to slip the katana into his hand, and there you have the katana wielding hands. So Deadpool in total has the fists, left and right fists, the katana holding hands. He's got the open hands, and then he's got trigger finger hands, and he's got them for right, left for each one of those hands, which is cool. So we got 2 of the katanas. They are the exact same katanas. We got the 4 shurikens, and then we've got the 2 pistols. He's got 2 of them, so they are the exact same. And you do get a holster that goes on each leg. This is my only gripe with this figure. This holster piece is just this plastic piece that just kind of clips onto the leg, and you can kind of move it around, you can kind of adjust on there, and it just kind of slips and whatnot, so it just kind of rests in there, and it's not a super tight fit, so I guess that's good because you don't want to do anything to break it off. It would have been nice if these would have just been like new legs, like Cyclops. Well, I don't even know if Cyclops got new legs, but as you can see, the Cyclops legs are a bit different. But like these yellow pieces here, those don't move. So I don't know if they just glued them on there or if it was like a new sculpt technique that they did for that. I wish they would have done that with Deadpool. So it's something that if you wanted to do, you could glue those down. That's not something I'm going to do, but that is going to be an option that you could do there. But that's just how the holsters are. Nothing special to it, but they are definitely effective for sure. But we get 2 of these pistols, this deep metallic red that matches his suit, which looks pretty cool. And then if you look at the handle there, you get that engraved Deadpool logo on there. So that is really cool. So dual pistols, very nice touch. 4 shurikens, very nice touch. And 2 katanas, very nice touch. And just looking at Deadpool's design, again, the glossy black on that metallic red is just so good looking. Absolutely love it. That's why he has now become my favorite over Cyclops, just because the black and the red just look so good together. And I know the yellow and the blue look so good together, but man, that black and red, mwah, chef's kiss. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over the articulation for both of these guys. And again, they're essentially the same figures, just kind of the torso is going to be a little bit different, but they can all essentially kind of do the same thing. So they can look all the way up, which is good. You can look down that much there. The neck does have its own point of movement as well as the head, so you can get some good pivot going on in there. Now, one big complaint that I do have overall with this entire line is the gap in the neck, as you can see there. Each one does have it, as they all kind of share that same neck piece. The arm you can get to go straight on out like so. Just be careful when it comes to these shoulder pads how you would kind of get that arm up. You can do a full rotation in there on that arm. Whoops, I pulled the hand off there. Put that hand back on there so we can get going. You have a butterfly joint in there, which allows for a little bit of movement in there. It doesn't get you a whole lot of crossbody, and it really doesn't go back, but it just does allow for additional movement in there. You have an upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbow. That gives you that much bend there. Wrists are on a ball peg, so you could swivel and hinge any which way you need to do that to swivel and hinge them. On the torso, you can get some pivot going on there. So Wolverine, you can get him to pivot to the left that much. You can get Wolverine to pivot to his right that much there. As you can see, you can go back, lean back that much there, which is pretty crazy. And then coming forward, you do get a decent amount, as you can see there. You can swivel a little bit at that waist, but it's the most of it is going to come at that top torso piece there. We do get drop down hips, so you could drop the leg down that much there, as you can see, which will allow you to kick forward all the way, which will allow the leg to go back really far and get that leg to go straight on out to the side there. So you can get the legs to do the splits that much there, which is great. You have a swivel at that upper thigh where the drop down hip is. You got a double jointed knee like so. On the ankle, you could swivel it around. You can hinge down a little bit, not a huge amount. You can hinge up a little bit, not a huge amount. You have toe articulation, and you do have some ankle pivot going on in there. So that is the articulation there. It is not going to be any different when it comes to Deadpool, as again, we have kind of the same pieces and everything in there. So, you know, moving Deadpool on those pivots is essentially going to be about the same there. So same thing on the head movement. So articulation points are going to all be the same in there between the two figures, essentially all the Sentinel fighting armor figures there. But let's check out some cool stuff with Deadpool. Okay, so I'm going to go through some poses, and I'm really basically just going to kind of rip off the poses that they actually put him on in the box. So there's some pretty cool things, as you can see. You know, you can really work that ankle pivot quite nicely. You know, utilizing those drop down hips to really extend those legs out in certain positions is really cool. You get a lot of good range in the arms and everything there. Oh, and I mean, because I always struggle with when it comes to poses and stuff, but you know, typical like gun poses, you can do as well. You know, earlier I had mentioned, you know, when he got the shuriken, you can just use like the trigger finger hand. The cool thing about it is that trigger finger, you can actually use the, you know, the peg hole that's in the middle of that to kind of stick that in there, and it can really just kind of stay in his hand because the finger is really holding it in place. So that actually works out quite well. And, of course, you know, Wolverine, just not as much accessories and stuff that kind of go along, but, you know, certain things that you can obviously do with him. I feel like this is a little bit of a fun one. He's just kind of got his arm, you know, back. He's kind of a little bit in a superhero type pose. He's lunging forward, and he's just kind of ready to get on to the attack. I think the angle is bad. Like, if you're at a like higher angle, then it looks a little bit better, but there we go. Or I guess from a standing position, you know, I think it looks a little bit better as he's ready to go on the attack. Okay, and then here, of course, we got Deadpool and Wolverine ready to face off. Let me see if I can get them in some kind of cool fighting pose. If I can get Deadpool to kind of stand. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so I kind of like set up the little scene here, you know, with, you know, essentially Deadpool stabbing Wolverine, Wolverine stabbing Deadpool, and then, you know, katana versus claws there. So that's kind of the best that I could do. I'll have pictures posted up on my Instagram so you guys can check them out. Again, thank you for bearing with me as I try out some poses and some different things. It's not really where my strong suit is, but every now and then I kind of get an idea in my head, and I gotta at least try. Sometimes I can pull it off, sometimes it's a little but hopefully you guys can kind of see what I've got going on here, and then hopefully you guys got some better ideas and be a lot more creative than me and really get these figures into some awesome poses. Okay, so our side-by-side comparisons. Again, we have the Deadpool and Wolverine here, and Deadpool has become my new favorite over the Cyclops that we got, which is so good. The accessories are amazing on that. The blue and gold just looks so good. Even though Wolverine, the blue and gold look good too. They're kind of opposite, right? More yellow on Wolverine. The blue is slightly different as well. But man, the Deadpool, the glossy black and the metallic red, just so good. But here with Cyclops and Magneto, we have our different X-Men characters. Now there is also, again, the X-Force Deadpool that is exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store in the US. That one I will probably get next month to finish out the entire line of the Sentinel Toys Marvel Fighting Armor. Iron Spider is on the way. Black and Gold Iron Man I do have. The others are available all in stock with the exception of the Punisher, which was limited to 800 pieces worldwide. I do have that. I did review that. Make sure to check out that video. But here with Deadpool and Wolverine, the reissues, again, Wolverine is kind of the weird one. Big Bad Toy Store, it's listed as like the original release as in stock, but the reissue is listed as a pre-order. But this Deadpool is the reissue, so there's something weird about there. So I'll have a link in the video description below to this in-stock Wolverine if you're looking to pick him up. And then, of course, link in the video description below to this Deadpool that is in stock. But Magneto and Cyclops are also in stock as well. And then if you haven't already, my most recent review was actually the Sentinel Fighting Armor Captain America Sam Wilson figure, just in time for Captain America Brave New World, so make sure to check out this review here as well. This one is also an awesome figure. If you guys haven't had any experience with the Sentinel Toys Marvel Fighting Armor line, I highly recommend it. If one of these characters that they released a figure for is your favorite, I think you should pick it up, and just to see how cool they are. I love how everyone essentially is the same because they all have a suit of armor made by Stark Industries, Tony Stark, but each one does bring something a little bit different and unique to their own character. So whether it's like the hip belt piece or the torso design piece or Magneto's boots are completely different. His gauntlet pieces are completely different to make it very Magneto-like. It's just some really cool things going on there. I absolutely love this line. Hopefully you guys too. If you guys are a fan, let me know down in the comments below. If you're looking to pick some up, again, links in the video description below. But give me your guys' thoughts on this Deadpool and Wolverine. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.